I consider to be serious constitutional matters relating to the bill which we are just about to commence debate. I have several issues to raise, and I wish to be heard on each of them, so that I seek a ruling of the Speaker. Sorry, I'm seeking direction. It's a point of order, a constitutional matter, very important, on which I seek the ruling of the Chair as regards the constitutionality of some of the provisions in this bill. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. At any stage.
Of course,
kindly allow me to raise the issue.
Honorable Murugara, you know you've asked, you've risen on a point of order.
Yes.
You are trying to seek my guidance on a particular issue.
Yes.
And you have my ears.
Yes.
So I want you to proceed as if you don't hear anybody else.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I should not be interjected because I lose my line of thought.
The only thing, Honorable Murugara, is that it should be brief.
Yes.
That is the only thing that I ask of you. Very brief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depends on how many points I have. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have looked at the draft bill, the Political Parties Amendment Bill of 2021, and I speak first and foremost as a member of Parliament representing Tharaka constituency, a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, and also as a lawyer. I have particularly a problem with clause number 2, which seeks to amend section 2 of the Political Parties Act, which in essence introduces matters that are not constitutional. The Political Parties Act is basically founded on Article 260 of the Constitution, which defines a political party by making reference to Chapter 7, Part 3. And when we look at what a political party is in the Constitution, it does not in any way contemplate formations of any other thing not referred as a political party to be a political party. What we have is a definition that is introduced in clause 2 regarding section 2, and that is subclause B, that now a political party includes a coalition political party. If we read the Constitution, Article 260, as read with the Chapter 7, Part 3, there is no contemplation, a jus dem generis, even if we construe it in whichever way, that we would actually introduce an entity that is not contemplated by the Constitution. What this particular section or clause is doing is to introduce an entity that requires to be defined by the Constitution. Failing to do so means what we are just about to debate on is unconstitutional. Number 2, I take you to Article 118 of the Constitution. Today, we are debating the Political Parties Amendment Bill, a bill that seeks to amend the Political Parties
Did you
Act.
say 118?
118 of the Constitution.
Okay, proceed.
Yes. The proposed amendments have very serious ramifications on Kenyans, because almost all Kenyans are members of political parties. Under 118, this House is required to conduct extensive, conclusive public participation. And unfortunately, this was not done regarding this bill, For what we only have is an advertisement in the newspaper calling for written memorandum. First and foremost, and extremely important, in my view, we should have conducted what would be, in the eyes of this House, adequate public participation.
To you, very keenly, and I'm actually at that particular article of the Constitution, and as you say, as you proceed, you know you are a member of JLAC yourself.
Yes.
Do we have any of that kind of representation in the minutes of your JLAC committee meeting? Because there are some things you could easily have cured yourself if there are any issues. But
may I explain myself?
Yes.
Number one, no, don't say aqua attend. I'm sorry. It is as follows.
Don't be distracted. I
don't want the leader of majority to distract me.
Don't be distracted by anybody at all.
JLAC, I'm a member of JLAC.
You are?
The chairman is here.
Yes. You did that.
For sure, we did not schedule a meeting. Hold on. We did not schedule. Can you hear? We did not schedule a meeting to discuss this bill. Hold on. You don't shout. We did not schedule a meeting to discuss this bill.
Chairman, I'll give you an opportunity. Let him conclude. I'll give, of course, the chair, particularly of the committee, because it will.
We did not schedule a meeting to discuss this bill.
Okay.
What happened was this.
So
what happened was this. I'm sorry. This is very important.
So as you conclude, I believe you are the interest that you have is public participation and the unconstitutionality of the introduction of Article 2 or Section 2 of this particular bill we are going to discuss, isn't it?
Sorry, but Mr. Speaker, sir,
yeah.
You asked me about whether my issues are captured in the report.
Yes.
And my response is you're not taking it. Kindly listen to me when I tell you exactly why my sentiments are not captured.
You know, I wanted us to be brief. I am happy to hear you.
We have to be brief, sir. But
okay, proceed.
But
proceed.
Sir,
yeah.
But Mr. Speaker, sir, you cannot rush us this way unless there is a good reason for that.
There is a good reason. We have a big thing to do. You know, the Honorable Murugara,
yeah.
I will explain to you why we are in a hurry.
Yeah.
There are 2 days that were placed before us for the special sitting.
Yes.
This is a special sitting, so we need to conclude or at least exhaust the business before us, and we are on the 2nd day, unfortunately. So I'm trying to see how we can be able to, of course, have you on board and also have the interest of moving forward on board. So,
but sir,
yes.
The same way, Mr. Speaker, we have the urgency, the same way there is an urgency in what I'm raising. As follows. May yet go on record. No, it's not going to court. It is as follows. JLAC, they did not schedule any meeting for this bill. What happened was this. A meeting was scheduled by the Judicial Service Commission in Mombasa, for which we were all invited. This bill came up in Mombasa as any other business. And for that, there is a problem. Unfortunately, by the time Judicial Service Commission invited us, most of us were committed elsewhere. We were not able to attend. As a result of which, I was not able to make my representations in that AOB that we had to do in Mombasa. Yesterday, we were signing the particular report which was discussed in Mombasa. And I raised a point in the meeting that I had to raise these issues. The chairman locked me out. Absolutely. Later on,
you have raised the 2 issues?
No, I have not raised the 2 issues.
You have raised the 2 issues unless there's another one.
But sir, let me explain what it is I'm raising. Everybody can talk the whole day.
You know, not for the whole day. I have 2 issues here. Honorable Sankok, don't worry about your matter. I will sort it out. I will sort it out. I have information.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay. Let me give you a timeline so that you can organize yourself. Within the next 3 minutes, you should have wound up your submission.
1 minute would go like this.
Okay, 1 minute. You ask for 1 minute.
No,
fine.
3 minutes. 1 minute.
3 minutes and finish.
The first 1 minute.
And you are time.
Just listen to me, sir.
Proceed.
At 5 o'clock, we raised an issue as to whether all the memorandum received was considered. We were told that there was no other memorandum received. I wasn't satisfied. I went to the office of the clerk, and the memorandum was pulled out, received at 4:55. I'm going to table it so that you can see that what I'm saying is true. Finally, as we proceed to discuss this, we have a total not less than 13 to 15 members of parliament who have proposed amendments to this bill. So what we are discussing, sincerely, it may not be what we are going to pass. There is need to harmonize the proposed amendments with the bill so that when we discuss something that is properly harmonized. Because there is a problem with that. Before, we were discussing the gaming bill, and the speaker ruled that there were so many amendments that there is need for harmonization before we proceed to debate.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, so I need your guidance as regards this. Absolutely.
That's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Murugara. As I had promised, there are two people I'm going to... Let's relax. I'm going to give two members. One of them is going to be the minority leader, and the next one is the chair of JLAC, and probably the majority leader for now. Because the issue, especially from the chair JLAC, is I want to understand the meetings that were scheduled, you discussed this particular matter, including the one of yesterday, because already one of your members has indicated that probably he did not participate. So we want to know whether he did not participate by the virtue of not being invited to a meeting or by his failure to attend a meeting. So those are issues that we would want to know. So let's start with the minority leader. And meanwhile, the Honorable Babu Awino, where are you? Are you in the house? Please, can you approach the speaker, please, kindly, quickly? So proceed, the rest of you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this point of order that has been raised by Honorable Warugara. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Warugara has raised two fundamental issues, which he claims or he alleges that this bill would infringe on the constitutional provisions based on what is provided in the bill against what is provided for in the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I thought I was at this. Does he have the crutches of...
Okay.
Thank you. So, Mr. Speaker, can I proceed?
Proceed, please.
Mr. Speaker,
I was sorting another matter which has arisen, and I want to settle it down. Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to react to the point of order that has been raised by Honorable Warugara, and Honorable Warugara has already cited two fundamental
issues. Please, Honorable Leader Minority, Warugara is a lady. Now this one is Murugara.
This is Murugara.
The man, yes.
You know, Honorable Murugara, Mr. Speaker, let me apologize for referring to Honorable Murugara as Honorable Warugara. Mr. Speaker, the two issues that Honorable Murugara has raised, again, the MP for Malindi is interfering, Mr. Speaker. Can I just proceed now, Mr. Speaker? Because Mr. Speaker, can I now proceed? Mr. Speaker, the two issues that Honorable Murugara has raised that are touching on the Constitution, I want to address myself to them. First, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the current law, the existing law, refers to definition of a political party as having been founded under Article 260 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, could we have some order with the MP?
Take your seat, Honorable Leader Minority. The matter raised by, or that I am aware, is happening to Honorable Sankok is not, it's serious. Now, but just keep quiet, Honorable Pukose. It has nothing to do with you. It is Honorable. No. Forget about you are being a doctor. You are. Did you say you are a gynecologist or because you know? Okay, surgeon. That's okay. Now, any member who, for any reason, what is surprising is Honorable Sankok. Of course, you are seated there all the time. If you have lost your crutches, you should obviously have the person in mind who has taken your crutches, if at all. Then I will order them to be brought to you quickly. Now, I know the matter of bring the bodies in law is called habeas corpus. Now, this one is, I believe, going to be habeas legs. So, we must very quickly have the crutches. And I'm told it is the Honorable Babu Owino. I'm not so sure if that is the truth. If that is the case, the Honorable Owino, you probably need to take back very quickly. And let me know, Honorable Owino, are you the one who has committed that offense?
I've already released them, Honorable Speaker.
Oh, you have released?
The sergeant has taken them.
So the Honorable the Honorable nominee 001, you already have your other legs. Yes, because let's put it this way. The legs with the Honorable Sankok would be legs. If it falls to hands of someone else, it becomes some weapon. So we would not want those legs to be with anybody else. So I want to be sure first that the Honorable Sankok has received his legs. Okay, all right. The Honorable Sankok, since it has been stated that you don't seem to take good care of your legs, we are safely keeping them somewhere so that nobody else can take them from you, and then it will be brought to you now. So you take your seat, you will have your, yes, and so they are there. They are being brought to you. So take your seat, the legs are coming to you. Just take your seat now. Take your seat now, the Honorable. I think I've resolved your matter now. So you don't have to worry anymore. They will be brought to you, and you can see that they are coming to you. So, Honorable Pukose, please take your piece. No, let's. And actually, Honorable Babu, you actually should apologize to the House, not to Sankok, because what you have just done is absolutely out of the ordinary. So, Honorable Babu, I know you for making many other issues, but this should not be one of them. So just apologize and
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Sankok seemed not to need the legs as at the moment.
No,
that's
just
why
apologize and then we have.
I apologize.
That is a matter settled now. It's a matter settled. And I can see even the Honorable Sankok himself is happy now. Now let's go to this serious business now. Leader of Minority, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That must have been a commercial break. But Mr. Speaker, let me now get back to the business of the House. The Honorable Murugara addressed two fundamental issues that I think we need to engage our minds to and address. Mr. Speaker, beginning with the first issue that he raised regarding the infringement of on the Constitution by providing the definition of a political party or political parties as it is in the proposed amendment. And Mr. Speaker, he has cited that the old law, the law that we want to amend, actually has provided the definition to be found under Article 260. Mr. Speaker, if you go to Article 260, it refers you to Chapter 7, Part 3, which is basically Article 91 of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, if you go to Article 91 of the Constitution, it provides the character, how the political party should look like. But it does not, and I want to repeat, it does not provide for the definition of a political party. It has only provided the architecture, the composition, what you need to look into when you are looking at a political party. And therefore, if now we are providing a legislation that is going to define a political party, unless it infringes directly and explicitly on the provisions as provided for under Article 91, then there is nothing wrong. In fact, the current proposal clarifies what a political party should be. And there is no contradiction whatsoever with what is provided for under Article 91 of the Constitution, which basically provides what you need to look into when you are forming a political party or applying for registration, that you must respect the provisions of the Constitution. And therefore, I want to, with all due respect to the lawyer, Honorable Murugara, when it comes to matters, legislation, Constitution, so long as you are an average Kenyan with good intellectual capacity, like myself, you are able to interpret and understand that there is nothing infringing on the Constitution. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, Article 38 of our Constitution provides for the rights of Kenyans to form themselves into political parties and political movements. So I want to, with all due respect, Mr. Speaker, say that I don't think Honorable Murugara has raised a substantive issue regarding this bill on that matter. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of public participation. Mr. Speaker, we don't really have clear programs, clear provisions in law which defines how public participation needs to be carried out. But Mr. Speaker, yesterday we did not proceed with this bill or the debate at the second reading of this bill because we realized that we were going to infringe on that provision in the Constitution on matters public participation, because we had invited Kenyans and gave them 21 days, which were ending last evening. And so one would expect that any Kenyan who is interested in giving input in whichever form would have used the 21 days either to send a written memorandum or appear before the committee of the House and canvass his or her position. And so at the end of that time period of 21 days, you cannot again come and fault this House from, that we have not conducted enough public participation. Because where is the definition of that enough of public participation in law? It's not there. So, Mr. Speaker, the 21 days, in my view, should suffice. And I want to just conclude by saying, Mr. Speaker, that I know we would have problems with the provisions of this bill in whichever way. The best thing for us to do is to canvass. Talk to us, Honorable Murugara, and tell us what you feel needs to be changed. And propose amendments. Many members, 13 of them, have proposed amendments. We are going to deal with them. Amendments that merit consideration, we will consider. But amendments that are don't merit, okay, we will not deal with. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Now, I will give, just before I come to the two members, including the majority leader I've just indicated, let me give the Honorable Mutua Barasa, member for Kimilili. You wanted to speak to this one? Now, we are discussing a point of order, Honorable KJ. So, how do you bring another point of order when we are on a point of order? So, proceed, Honorable Member for Kimilili.
But you are given bad.
Are we having a problem with your mic? You can use this one in the dispatch. That would be fine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Murugara has raised very serious matters that needs your guidance, and it's only fair, Honorable Speaker, that you give an appropriate ruling, because we are staring at a situation where even NGOs will begin to field political candidates if you don't tread carefully, Honorable Speaker, and that we are making these laws for posterity, not for a particular group. So we should look at the matters that are raised by Honorable Murugara with the seriousness that they deserve, and let us not put our political emotions into this, Honorable Speaker, because they are going to affect generations that are going to come, Honorable Speaker. So I beseech you to make your pronouncement, not to allow us to dilute what the Honorable Murugara has raised, so that you, as the Speaker of this House, as guided by the standing orders, Honorable Speaker, that you provide a proper ruling as whether this bill is properly before this House, or if it's unconstitutional, it should be sent back to the Senate.
Honorable Iringo,
thank you.
If you have something, because I see your name is top here. Honorable Iringo, then we go back to the members I had mentioned.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to also to request you, with due respect, Mr. Speaker, without side shows and other insinuations, that whatever Honorable Murugara brought in should be looked critically. And I repeat also that these laws are meant for posterity, not to carve or to take a dimension where we are going to please some quarters. Mr. Speaker, if I can take you down memory lane, way back in the 10th Parliament, standing orders were tailored to fit a certain party. And when we came in the 11th Parliament, we were unable to proceed with the business of this House for almost a year, because what was tailored to fit into the dispensation which was there at that time, it was unfortunate they didn't get the leadership. And therefore we had to go back again to the drawing board to put things right, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let us not do things so that we can please people for a year. Let us do things which will take this country forward for many years to come.
We go to the chair. Now let me just guide you, honorable members. The Honorable Murugara rose on a point of order. Now, the members are responding and buttressing the issue one way or the other. Now, when another member raises on a point of order, you will have to allow us to finish this one, then you can raise your own. So we cannot have it two ways. So we are dealing with one specific matter. And let's not be unruly about this issue. If you have an issue which makes sense, you will be heard. But again, we are not going to use this one as a filibustering thing. We are going to proceed because we don't want to waste unnecessary time on a matter that is fairly straightforward in my thinking. So let's have the chair of the committee telling us the process with which the matter of public, and actually not even the matter of public participation, because it is in your domain, honorable members, that public participation was done. It ended yesterday, and that is why we couldn't progress with this yesterday. So, and yesterday, the Honorable KJ, and that's why I'm going to have a bit of a problem giving you an opportunity. The reason why this matter was brought to today, you are part of the members who gave, who gave me the opportunity to make that decision, led, of course, by the leader of majority and the chair of the particular committee. So, you cannot have it twice. Let's proceed, the Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think some of these matters that are being raised.
I actually want you most importantly to restrict yourself to the matter of the public participation process and the meetings by your committee.
First of all, Mr. Speaker, due notice of the meeting for consideration of the political parties amendments was dispatched, given electronically on 14th, Tuesday 14th this month, and the coached, dispatched to everybody, and Mr. Murugara, in effect yesterday, gave notice that he had given apologies for the meeting. And the meeting, the notice, listen, would you wait?
Please.
George Murugara,
you have made your submissions in peace. Allow your chairman also to have some peace as he submits.
Mr.
Please.
Speaker, on 14th December 2021, at 18 hours, 35 minutes, this notice was electronically dispatched to every member of GLAC. Members are reminded that Thursday, we will meet the judiciary. Thereafter, embark on consideration of Political Parties Act amendments, necessitating retreat extension to Monday 20th instant, we will be taking this course, and the registrar of political parties has been invited to take us through the proposals. All members are requested to avail themselves for this notice, for this noble exercise, since the amendments are scheduled for debate at a special sitting next week. That one, yes, members attended yesterday when we retreated to room 9. Honorable Murugara requested the chair to register that his apologies were not captured, the minutes. Thereafter, Mr. Speaker, we went ahead to consider the report. He never raised any complaint. He never brought any memorandum. We left that room at about 6 p.m. That's the so-called memorandum was not brought to the notice of the committee at that hour.
All right.
Mr. Speaker, I know.
So we go to the leader of majority.
I know. May I continue? May I continue, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, may I continue?
Any point of order? Any point of order that I'm going to entertain? What is it, Honorable KJ? What is it?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
And it's going to be a minute.
And with your protection, kindly, Mr. Speaker, I can be heard in silence.
Not a speech. A point of order is not going to be heard in silence. It's going to be heard briefly.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday I did rise in my place and request that this House admits a report to this House procedurally following the provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution that requires us to have public participation. Mr. Speaker, from the chair yesterday you said public participation cannot be seen to be a cosmetic affair. Mr. Speaker, yesterday evening, the Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs met, Mr. Speaker. And this is a house of records. No. Mr. Speaker, if we went, Mr. Speaker, allow me to make my point.
I'm not going to allow you.
Mr. Speaker, there is no consideration of memos that came in yesterday, and we cannot say that we have done conclusive public participation.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. So, Chair. Okay. Okay, proceed. Chair, proceed.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Baya, yeah. I'm not going to accept yours. No. Thank you. Chair, proceed. Proceed, Honorable Chair, and then we come to
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chair, you can wind down your. Okay. Honorable members, now take your seats. Now take your seats. Take your seats.
Where are you?
Now.
Give it to Tekeche. Speaker.
Now let me comment about the Hansard. Take your seats. I comment about the Hansard. Take your seat. Take your seats, honorable members. Now it is your hand. Okay. Now, order, Honorable KJ. Honorable KJ, take your seat. And the rest of the members, take your seats. Now let me make a comment about the request that you have asked about the Hansard. Now can you just take your seats? I am going to order that particular member out. So take your seats. You have asked for the production of the Hansard. You have asked for the production of the Hansard. You, Honorable KJ, I'm going to ask that if you become unruly, I will take some step which I do not want to. You have made a request and you are still shouting. That does not make, you are being very unruly. Now, you have said that you want to see the progress. So I'm not giving anybody the mic now. I am making a ruling. We will progress. We will progress. The member for Tigania West. The member for Tigania West. Member for Tigania West. I will not. I will not.